All right. Welcome everybody to our January on our first meeting of 2022. Thanks for jumping on Zoom. Some crazy stuff has happened, but I just kind of felt like maybe we should just all do this virtually and you don't have to meet in person. So thank you for those who've made the time to jump on. I'm going to officially call this meeting to order and start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can see the agenda. And okay, so today should be a fairly quick meeting. We don't have a ton to go over because a number of things have actually been canceled. So just a quick welcome. I think we've got our board on, Miss Radley, and maybe a couple parents on today, Miss Russell, Mrs. Balmer, Emily. But for anybody who doesn't know, I'm sorry, my camera just isn't working for some reason on my laptop. So you don't have a face to a name, but you're welcome to Facebook me if you need to know who I am. I'm Katie Fox. I'm our PTA president. I have a son who is in 3rd grade. And if the rest of my board who is on would just like to say hi and introduce yourselves for the rest of the group.
I'm Aiden.
No.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Campbell. I am the PTA vice president. I have a 2nd grader and a 5th grader over in the middle school.
Hi, I'm Shannon Stalikas. I have a 4th grader and a 6th grader over in the middle school. I'm the recording secretary.
Hi, my name is Leah Fox. Okay. I don't know if they can see me.
I can see you. You're good. Oh, no, we
okay.
can't.
My name is Leah Fox and I'm the treasurer. I have a 3rd grader at school there.
Hi, I'm not sure if everyone can see me. I've never used my iPhone for this before, but my name is Emily. I'm the corresponding secretary, and I have kids in 1st, 3rd, and 4th grade in the elementary school.
Wonderful. Does anybody else want to say hello or share who they are before I move on? I don't want to force anyone to speak. No. That's my 3rd grader who thinks he's a mini member. Okay. Well, so the first order of business, which Shannon hopefully is proud of me, I remember to throw into the agenda, is we need to review and approve the November meeting minutes. So I'm going to pull those up really quick. Let's see here. This is November. I think I have to stop sharing and then reshare. Okay, so the last time we got together was November 16th. And if I can have, I know we're all on, pretty much all have our cameras off. If I can have people use the little like clap icon or hand raise icon to approve the minutes. That way Shannon can put your names down. That would be great. Thank you guys. Okay. Any questions on these before I move on? I'm going to take silence as no's. So perfect. Okay, back to our agenda. Stop share. Reshare. I only have a few things on my list to review today. So when we met last month, we were right in the beginning of our book fair. We ended up doing really, really great with the book fair. I'm pretty sure it's kind of almost the best that we've ever done. We were set up in the library. It was a little bit different in regards to location and how we had to work things, but we had a lot of great volunteers. So for everybody who volunteered and helped us out, thank you so much. Thank you to Mrs. Thompson and our other friends in the library who just helped us with keeping the classes together and working with the children. And then, like I said, our volunteers who actually helped all of our students shop for our great books. I believe our what we made from this was about $2,000 in cash. That was our profit. Now, typically in the past, we used to use this event in our book fairs to pay for these notorious Scholastic magazines that we talk about every meeting. If that option still was available, we would have covered incomplete next year's Scholastic magazine, because they give you an option of doing 50% profit if you do the Scholastic dollars. And in that case, we would have made over $4,000. But since they don't have that option for us, we took the cash, and I think you only get like 20 or 30%. So we were right around $2,000. Still though, that's a great chunk of money. We still have a spring book fair, which is our BOGO book fair coming up in April. I know we've been using the money from the anonymous donor to cover some of the Scholastic, but I like that we now have some cash in this bucket, which I'll show you in the treasurer's report later, to cover that. So it just means money can go in other places. In December, we had our Merry Moose holiday shop. That was also a very different kind of event for us, where we had to be in the hallway instead of the community room, just so that our students were able to continue their lunches in the community room. However, again, I'm so thankful for all of our volunteers, the maintenance workers, Miss Radley, everybody who helped move the gift tables in and out of the community room into the hallway every day. It was a little crazy on the logistics side, but we made it work. I know my son came home with some super cute and thoughtful gifts for our family. So hopefully you guys did. This is not really a fundraiser for us. I don't know if everybody understands that, but we don't really mark the prices up. So what they're being sold at is really what we're buying them. I think we maybe make a quarter off each item. But with that being said, I believe we made about $700. So it's right on par with what we expected. It's not, I don't want anyone to think like this was a big fundraiser. It's more for just the children to be able to purchase some gifts for their family. And so that was fun. Our next two events that people may have signed up for or knew about are canceled right now for January. So because of COVID and everything still going on, we will not be hosting the winter dance, possibly looking at doing maybe an outdoor dance later on in the spring, but we're still in the works for that. And the ice cream social, which is being paired with the school's read along night, I heard was being postponed as well. So I don't have a new date for that. Maybe Miss Radley does when she gives her report, if the faculty and teachers have picked a new date for the read aloud night, but we'll be partnering with them. Perry's is going to be donating ice cream for us. They did this in the past. I have a connection over there, so I reached out again and they were happy to do the donations. And we're actually going to do ice cream sandwiches instead of, you know, the traditional scooped ice cream sundaes, just so we can stay, again, COVID friendly, safe, and that way all the ice creams are individually wrapped for the children who attend. So as soon as, you know, we know when that event will be, I'm sure the school will be sending out information, and we are going to piggyback off of that with them and hope to just have a fun night. The biggest thing that I wanted to just discuss is, and I meant to bring this up in November and I completely forgot, but all four, well, I know there's 5 of us on the board. There's 4 board positions that are going to be open for next year. And we're talking about this so early because we actually have to vote earlier than we normally would in the past. And because everybody is moving on, we only need 3 of the 4 to continue to run as an organization. We have to have a president, a treasurer, and a secretary. Vice president is not necessary. It's always nice, just like it's really nice that we have 2 secretaries right now. But you need to have at least 3 positions to stay open. If we do not have people to fulfill those positions for next year, we would have to come together as a group and we would have to dissolve and kind of everything that we've been doing and running for our children would not happen in the future. So it hurts me to talk about this and say this, but that's kind of the state that we're at. So if you know anybody who you think would be a great fit, with us also doing our voting in April, it gives May and June and the beginning of the summer for our current board members to work with our new board members on planning, logistics, expectations, and get them in a good place to hit the ground running. July 1st is typically when we change over. Things I guess to note is I can't continue as president. I'm only allowed 2 terms. So this is my 2nd term. I just can't actually continue this posting. Same thing with Vanessa. She's held her position for 2 years already. And then we just all have a number of personal reasons coming up. So if anybody has questions, they're interested, they want to learn more about what the different positions entail, reach out to any of us. We're happy to share that with you. I would really hate to see that this organization has to dissolve. So hopefully we can find 3 people that want to come on board. Yes, Mrs. Russell?
Hi, I'm just wondering, will PTA be sending something out, like in book bags or shout point or anything like that, saying, hey, we really need people?
So I did, for pushing today's meeting, I already put it in. I had a parent text me personally kind of asking, and I sent it to people who are all like, not even like, so today's meeting reminder wasn't just to our members. I sent it to like everybody in our contact book.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna have to do a really big push, create a flyer and see if the teachers can share it. And one thing to note is the board does not have to be parents. It could be anybody anybody who is going to be a PTA member can be on the board. So I guess because I think there are some people, maybe they're part of our group, but maybe they're a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle. And they think that, oh, I don't have an actual child in the school, I can't be on the board. And that's actually not the case at all. So we'll be pushing that out more. Again, I apologize. I meant to talk about it in the November meeting and it completely slipped my mind. So I'm going to be talking about it at every meeting moving forward. We still have our adopt a member gift membership. I have to be honest. I thought this was going to do better in terms of being used than it has. We have actually had nobody take us up on using a gifted membership. I think we have like 20 of them in the bank, so to speak, that people have purchased for others in the community. And right now they're just sitting as in our donation pot. So again, if you know of anybody who's interested in just, coming to meetings, having their voice heard or wanting to volunteer, to reach out to Mrs. Kobieski or Kia. They're the ones who are going to kind of handle the logistics of that. But, we have these 12 memberships and I thought they might have, maybe gone out a little bit more. Emily, I see your hands raised. What's up? What's up, girl?
Oh, yeah. It's my birthday. I'm middle-aged.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Yes, I'm celebrating my middle-agedness by being at work. I was just wondering if it might be worth sending home, even like, I know that like we're at these meetings and we're listening about these gifted, memberships, but I wonder if it might be worth even like sending home like a little half sheet with the students, just saying, we have these, if anybody is interested, and then we can just give the name of who they can reach out to, because if they're not, they might think they can't even attend the meetings if they aren't a member. So maybe it would be worth it, just for a one-time thing.
I am open to that idea. My concern with doing a massive, I'm going to call it a mass mailing, so to speak, is what happens if we have 40 people reach out and we only have 20 right now. And I'm not sure, I don't think we've created necessarily a process if it's first come, first serve, if there's a specific, I know I don't have anything in writing of what the need criteria is. So that would be my only concern, is if we did get a lot of interest, but we didn't have that amount, unless we put it specifically in the writing that there's 20 right now, first come, first serve.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me. Just, if it was going to be something where we were just trying to offer it out to more people. I mean, if we just tell them how many there are, I can't imagine there would be a huge run on them, but
Okay.
you never know. And, you know, a lot of people might be interested, but I think it would make sense to put like a, you know, some sort of cap or, first come, first serve, or whatever it might be, or maybe, you know, Mrs. Kowalski might have a better criteria for that than just for first come, first serve. So I'm happy to do that as the correspondence secretary. Just let me know if you need me to do that. I'm happy to do that.
That would be great if you could, if you
Okay.
want to start at least to draft up a
Sure.
flyer or some messaging. And then we'll work with Kia and Mrs. Kobieski about handling the logistics of it. Does anybody in the meeting today have any reservations, anything that we should think about since we're here as a group that to bring up about this? Yes?
Would it be something that could be rolled over into next year? Like if we don't give away enough of them, can we roll the money over into a line maybe?
So right now it sits in the donation line, the open donation line.
So, yeah.
It could roll over, or what we could do. Yes, because we can have two, like I can open up next year's membership this year in March. So if we know people are interested for next year, we could probably use, I think we can use that money. We can roll over. I'll have to double check, but I don't see why it couldn't, because it's just in a donation bucket and we would just kind of transfer that donation bucket into our membership bucket. And I, just so everybody knows, that we don't have it in the membership bucket right now because I can't put them into the system as a member without knowing who they are. And once I do that, then we have to pay New York State the $4 of the $5 for our New York State due. So that's why when people have purchased these open memberships, they've just gone into our donation bin as a holding place for now. But we have all of those tracked in our treasurer's report. So that's easy movement within the line items. Okay, awesome. And then for any of the teachers who are on the call today or administration, we're still pushing the mini grant applications. There's probably about, that's not the right spreadsheet. There's still a couple $1,000s available. So if you guys are planning things in the spring that are outside of your, your field trip line buckets or extra things, don't be afraid to fill out that application. And then that is something that we come together as a group and vote on. It's different than a reimbursement. Those are usually typically we just write those checks for, and as long as we know where the money's coming from. But the mini grants we will vote on. So feel free to share that with your friends. And that is all that I have for right now. Vanessa?
All right. So for box tops, right now we are at $108.40. So keep getting the word out there to all friends and family who do buy some of the General Mills cereal and Annie's stuff. And there's always some really good deals. I went on today when I was at Target, and once again, Target is adding on an extra 50 points, I guess, towards a purchase of 5 or more General Mills items. So there's always some good deals that you can get with those. And there's always downloading the app, which can be difficult. I know a lot of people don't always have space on their devices all the time, but it does help the school every little bit. For the basket raffle, as of right now, it is still going on. So we are still accepting donations. If something happens and we have to postpone it or shut it down, we will let you know as soon as we know that information as well. But as of right now, it is still moving forward. So if anybody has time during the day and they want to run out and ask people for different donations, or if you want to make a basket, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do that. We will be taking them. You can probably drop them off at the front desk, and then we can pick them up and store them until the actual basket raffle. Does anybody have any questions with those? Okay, that's all I
Well,
have.
The only thing I want to add to that, everyone, we have gotten a whole bunch of donations, like gift certificates, from when Shannon did her mass mailing to the different companies. They've been flooding into the school, and every time I go I check the mailbox. Shannon, I have a box for you started at my house with a lot of these. But yeah, I just want people to know we have donations coming in, mostly right now in forms of gift certificates or gift cards, which is amazing. Those always sell or raffle really well. But the other thing I want to say is we cannot hold an online raffle. They have changed some rules. And I know we may have dabbled in that in the past, but that is not an option moving forward. So if we have to postpone the March event, I really want us to try and do everything we can to hold it sometime May, maybe June, maybe piggyback that with our pancake breakfast, or maybe even just kind of swap some things out. I don't want us to have to necessarily get baskets for a whole nother year. The school really doesn't have the space for them. They've reorganized the cupboards that are in the community room, and we have what we need. We just don't have all the extra. And, sometimes people make great baskets that have some perishable items in them, or non-perishable items, but that still have an expiration date. And we don't want those, going to waste or going bad. Or so the other thing with gift baskets that is different from if we have parents who have helped us in the past with this, we cannot accept any kind of wine or liquor in the baskets. So I know we've done some wine baskets in the past. We can't have that anymore, any kind of alcohol in the actual baskets. However, feel free to provide a gift card to Premier or your local wine store and as a replacement if you'd like. Mrs. Russell, your hand is up. What questions do you have?
Yes. So my question is, does PTA send anything out, like asking grade levels for baskets at all? I know many years ago, I remember that happening, but I don't know if it happens now.
We have templates from the past. We just haven't had an actual basket raffle in a few years. So yeah, that stuff will go out. There'll be a letter like for parents to, if they in the donation request form that they can, if they have, family that own businesses or they want to provide. And then I'm happy to have Diane send an email out to all the teachers, seeing if you guys want to collaborate and make baskets.
Yeah, I mean, I can send something out if you guys are okay with that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Asking, because I feel like we tend to get more or have, when we've actually said, hey, each classroom, if you could donate something,
That would
they
be
usually
great.
come up with something. Okay, I'll send an email out then this week.
Thank you. Do you have all the details do you need any details about the event?
No, anything you can share with me would be great.
No, I mean, if the baskets, I think I would ask for them to be, if the event is on the 12th, maybe by March 1st.
Okay.
Just like a due date of when they would be due.
Yep.
Because somebody, I'm there's always
Yeah,
somebody
no,
who's
that's
a little
good.
bit late,
March
but
1st.
that gives us a buffer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it in the staff, like the notes that we send out from PTA meetings, but I'll also send out something separate asking.
Great. And one thing I don't think I have on any of our agendas, or I know it's in the donation request letter, Shannon is actually the chair for this event.
Okay.
Not me, because I am due right at that time. So I had to take myself off of that event. So I'm helping Shannon, but she is really going to be the main contact person for all things basket raffle related. And right now we're still trying to pull in the vendor fair with it, but we haven't released any kind of communication about that part of it yet, just because of COVID stuff. I'd rather get the okay to just be able to do a basket raffle and a chicken dinner than try and cram more people into a space with a vendor fair. I know that those do draw more people, but I'm trying to see what we can do with, since it's typically more of an indoor event.
Katie,
But
with it being indoors in March, should we just scratch the vendor side of it now? Like, I feel like if we did some sort of like food, I don't know if we were planning on doing the chicken dinner again and the basket raffle. If our, quarter carnival was any indication, we probably will have enough traffic, I would imagine. What do you
yes,
think?
I think the plan right now is Vanessa, I don't know if she probably is looking into vendors for the chicken dinner, but the plan is to do a chicken dinner with it. I mean, I'm okay with scrapping vendors, but I don't want to be the sole decision maker on this. I'm happy to hear if somebody's really passionate and they really think we need to have them. I don't, but I don't know. People can come off mute. You don't have to, if anyone has something to say, if they feel one way or another.
Can I ask a question? It's Mary Russell again.
Yeah.
It's not about the vendors.
Oh, sure.
I think it might be safer to just cancel it, but
Mhm.
I'm just one person. But my question is, so Shannon would be the contact person if anybody has questions. Do we reach Shannon through the PTA email?
Shannon, how do you want that? I don't know how often you check our PTA email. Do you want to give us a
I
personal
would
email?
say, yeah, I would say even, yes, personal email or even my cell phone probably would be the easiest way to reach me. If people do reach out to the PTA email, Katie, I'm sure you can forward
Oh, yeah.
whatever, but
Yep.
Would you
I can-
mind telling me what it is so I can type it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
my cell phone number is 716-578-4527.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
People can text or call.
Okay.
And really that would be my preference.
Okay, perfect. Then that's perfect. I like texting.
Yeah, and
myself.
if they for some reason send an email, the PTA email is fine. I'll just redirect it to Shannon if it's something that I think she needs to handle, or I can just answer quickly if I have to and then copy her on it.
Okay, just to make sure, 578-4527.
You got it. Any
Awesome.
questions, send them my way, okay?
Thank you.
And
No
thank you,
problem.
Shannon, for doing this. I know this is a huge lift.
Oh, no, oh, please compared to what the rest of you do all the time, no problem at all. Thank you.
All right, so then you know what? Let's just make the decision now. Because I still have to have a conversation with the district about numbers and what we can do still. And I know they're waiting to see. I know they're not going to make any decisions on a March event right now in January. But let's try. I guess let's just make it as simple as possible. Of no vendors this year. And that way we can have as much space to space out baskets between the community room and the gym. And then if we have to, depending on what COVID, if we're allowed to have it, but we're super limited on how many people can be in the building, we'll do a drive-through chicken dinner. I mean, we're going to need a lot of volunteers. So you have me on the record here saying that if we do this and chicken dinners just drive-through and not in the cafeteria like it was in the years past, that puts us in two very different locations that are going to have to be fully staffed. So we can make it work. I think we've gotten the drive-through chicken dinner thing kind of down, but we'll need people indoor helping, selling tickets, doing the basket part, and then people obviously outside working the chicken dinner part as well. So, but it's all up in the air. Who knows what life will be like in March.
I like
Okay.
it. I think it's a good plan.
Okay. I want us to have options, and I want to make sure that I'm communicating those options with everybody, so no one's like shocked when all of a sudden we decide that, oh, we're gonna do drive-through chicken instead. The next step is the treasurer's report. And stop. And reshare. Okay. So we're doing pretty good. I'm sorry that this is so small. I wanted to try and fit like as many rows on the page as possible. So nothing really new and exciting. I still have the things highlighted in green. Leah, feel free to step in if I'm misspeaking or missing anything. We underspent on the fall event, so we've got a little bit of money living there. We didn't even budget making any money with the book fair this year, so that's why you just kind of see that negative 3,500 in the budget was just paying for the magazines. But we made some decent money, which can offset, again, the need for when we pay for these next year. We went a little bit over on the t-shirts. I'm happy to take the blame for that, of not knowing it's the right sizes. So we had to do an additional order back in the fall to make sure all of our students had them. Just so teachers know, if you have a student or a new student comes into your classroom, let us know so we can get them a t-shirt. We have plenty of extras that I'm happy to make sure every student has one of the black t-shirts that we gave out in the fall. We did really well with our fall fundraisers. We had our goal of 10,000. We actually were $700 over. And I think we're just kind of waiting. Oh, this number doesn't look right. I'll have to look into that for the holiday shop. Yeah, and I think I have the check report so we only have the check report for November. I don't think Leah's received the December statement yet from the
No,
bank.
I haven't.
Okay, so this is all everything that kind of went in and out. Look at that Amazon Smile. Thank you to all the people who have us on their Amazon Smile, getting that free easy money. Anybody have any questions on the financials? No? Okay. Is my agenda back up, or do I have to stop the screen again?
It's back
Vanessa? Okay. All right, Emily. Do you have anything to share about the diversity committee or event for next month?
Yes, just want to make sure, can everybody hear me? Because it's really quiet on my end. I just want to make sure that I'm speaking loud enough.
Yes, loud and
Yeah,
clear.
you're good.
Okay. So we have had 2 meetings now for the diversity committee, and the plan as of right now is we are going to basically have, I don't want to say a school-wide event because it's not a school-wide event. It's like a series of little diversity and inclusion events happening throughout the week of February 7th. So that's the week that we've kind of chosen to highlight different parts of the community, the diversity within the community. We're going to have some specialized bulletin boards in the school where the students do a lot of traffic. We're also hoping to be able to solidify the librarian, Mrs. Thompson, doing some work with us in terms of providing some books that are easy for teachers to grab to incorporate into their classroom that week. We also are working with, hopefully at some point, the English as a new language, the ENL teacher, we want to find out what countries students within our community are from. And so we were looking to maybe do some flags in the front hallway when people walk in, to just kind of highlight, that we're all one big community. So that's the plan for right now. We're going to have another meeting. I haven't said it yet. I think it'll probably be Monday, maybe January 10th, or if everybody can make it at that time. We actually had a pretty good meeting last time. There were quite a few people and it was very productive. So I'm hoping the next one will as well. We also have sorry, our printer is running and so you probably can't hear me. We are also planning on having a Black History Month something, we haven't come up with exactly what yet, on February 28th, which is the last day of the month, because up until this point, the elementary school has never had a specific event for Black History Month. So we haven't quite ironed out the details for that yet, but there will be something happening. If it wasn't a COVID year, our hope was to do like almost like a cultural exchange within like the school community, but that probably won't happen. Just, I would imagine it's probably too complicated to do with all of the restrictions around COVID, but I'm sure we'll come up with something amazing. So that's the plan for the diversity committee right now.
That sounds amazing. Great job, Emily.
I did nothing. Everyone else had just really great ideas.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to see this coming to fruition, and let us know if you need anything more before that February 7th, the week, like if you need anything else to promote that during the school day.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks.
You're
Emily, also, we have the showcase that's right out in front. That right now I just have it as Happy New Year, but please feel free to use that as well, because I don't really have anything planned for anything coming up because all of our events are postponed or canceled.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's just so ridiculous at this point. You have to almost laugh because it's like, what do you even put in the showcase? Because nothing's happening, but everyone's doing their best. And thanks, Vanessa. Will probably actually take you up on that.
And let me know if you need any help with it, because I mean, I know where the Edison is and all the paper and everything. So just let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
The only other bullet under our secretary's report is we gained 2 new members since last month's meeting. 2 additional parents or community members that had signed up. So we're at 105. So thank you, everybody who has joined, who has paid their membership fees. And Miss Radley, do you have anything to report on behalf of the administration?
Yes, absolutely. First, we wanted to wish everyone a happy new year, and we hope everyone had wonderful holidays. At this point, our reading team has not selected a date for the reading night, which would be connected to the ice cream social, but they are in the process of working on it. You know, kind of like Katie said, we're kind of waiting to see what this, next wave looks like, so that we can kind of narrow down a date that hopefully then we can keep. And have our families into the building, or at least outside. We do have those tents that we utilize for the Penny Carnival, so we can definitely look into an option like that. But they are in the process of figuring out that date, and as soon as we have one selected, we will let the PTA know so that we can work together to make sure that event is fun and successful. In regard to some other updates, a brief ELA update, we have started our next round of benchmarking assessments. That data is utilized to be able to reorganize our groups within the classroom and make sure we're meeting our students' individual needs. Grades K and 1, we bring in an assessment team to be able to work with those students, because those assessments are done on a one-to-one basis. So those teams will be getting brought in the next few weeks, and we will be, working with the kiddos to get those scores and be able to continue to differentiate in the classroom. Math, we are focusing on fluency with all of our grade levels. We're continuing to build on the students' understanding of how and why to solve math problems. And again, it's very individualized in our classroom and with small group instruction. We are also going to be doing our New York State assessments this year, pending they are being held. We are going to be doing them computer-based, which was the goal prior to when COVID hit. And so this year we are actually going to roll that out. So we are going to be doing computer-based testing for grades 3 and 4 for both the ELA and the math assessment. The ELA assessment is scheduled to be held the week of March 29th through April 1st. And the math assessment is scheduled for April 26th and 27th. On Monday, this coming Monday, the 10th, we are actually going to be doing a computer-based testing simulation with the kids in grades 3 and 4. And really what that is going to look like is basically a test run. We're going to, have the students log on. They're going to be answering a very few number of questions, but it's just getting them to see the program, putting it up in front of them so they know how to navigate it, as well as making sure that the teachers know how to navigate the system, as well as making sure all of our technology can work with everything that comes along with computer-based testing. So that is something that we are going to be doing on Monday morning. It truly is a stress-free event. We are just trying to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to, work with the system, and we can start figuring out any issues that we might have before we actually are doing these assessments in March and April. And that really is it for me, unless you have any questions for myself or something I could take back to Mrs. Evans.
Ms. Bradley, I have a question about the assessments. How long are they each day? Is it an all-day test? Is it just a couple hours?
Yeah, it ends up being, now, depending on if the student has extended time, so on and so forth. For the most part, they end up running most students between 45 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely not an all day. Now, scheduling, because we do have to do accommodations and stuff, that does put some additional elements into it. But for the most part, most students are able to complete them within, 45 to, an hour and a half at most.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Actually, one last thing, maybe if you want to respond back to Kia. She was asking about dates for, I sent her a date for the pictures for next year. Oh, I guess I could tell the whole group this. I have booked our pictures for next year, and they will be in September. They will not be in as late as they were. I made sure that I got them booked with Interstate right away. And for, whoever takes over as president next year, that's, one thing this person won't have to worry about. But it is for 22-23 school year. The date in September, as well as the March 31st date for the spring pictures. There was like all these emails going on because I think Diane then had a question, and they were, so as long as the district doesn't have any like major things that show up on the calendar that force us to move it, I wanted to lock those dates in right away, but they are for next year. At this time, do any of our teacher representatives have any updates? No? Mrs. Russell, anything from the Spirit Committee?
Sorry. No, there had been a teacher that had put in a, what is it called? Like a request for a grant. But then she came back to me and I didn't know what it was for. She had just asked me about the mini grants. And because of what it was that I can't remember, I think it was Valentine's for Vets, maybe, that they
Yes.
wanted to buy craft supplies. I told her to just go ahead and put it through the school spirit money, because that made
Okay.
perfect sense to me. So no, that was it. And I apologize that I didn't know, I didn't think to ask what it was for. So I'll do that in the
You
future.
know what? It's interesting. She actually had asked me about, she had told me about this, and then
Yeah.
I'm the one who was like, well, we have two buckets. You could request, a mini grant, but I'm the one who was like, I think it kind of sounds more like a school spirit thing. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe ask Mrs. Russell if this could come out of the school spirit line. If not, because you maybe, you may have other things planned for all that money. Then she could apply for a mini grant, but she did, I think she paid for it on her own, and we are reimbursing her for that.
Awesome.
So, next, that
Excellent.
will be reflected in all the check reports and all of that in our next meeting.
Perfect. So that's it, really. I mean, people really liked the holiday shop. I heard lots of positives, of course, as I was out and about picking up and dropping off students. So I know that everybody really enjoyed that. And the book fair too, things had to be different, but everybody was happy. So that's all good. Thank you for what you guys do.
Good. That makes me really happy. People don't need to know all the craziness on the back end, as long as the quote unquote customer is happy at the end.
Oh, it looks good on our end. So we don't know what you're doing that might be crazy. It all looks good on our end. So thank you.
have to say that doing the holiday shop was probably one of my favorite volunteering things because like the kids would come in, they'd have no clue how much money they would have, and they would just go and fill a bag. They'd just like fill a bag with stuff that they wanted. And it was really funny and such a great learning opportunity to teach them about, you know, well, you only have $5. You can get this, this, and this, and all of the things that they wanted to buy for themselves. It was really fun. I love being in the school, and it was like they were hysterical. So I'm super glad that we put that on, even though we kind of had to change what we were doing. So thank you, Katie and Vanessa. You guys did so much for that. So thank you.
Oh, and I have to make sure we put this in here, and maybe Mrs. Russell, if it's in your notes, or
Mhm.
Mrs. Bulmer, we want to make sure we thank Mr. Becker for being Santa and coming in, and we did an after hours on the Tuesday night. We had a few families. It wasn't overwhelming. I know it was the first time we've ever done like evening hours for this event. But the families who came, they had a lot of fun, and I just want to make sure to thank him again for stepping up and being there for us. And hopefully it's something we can continue and grow next year and in the future.
Perfect. I will make sure that I have that in there. I do have to say, having all of you guys volunteer to help kids shop, I know that teachers love that you are there, because some of the kids, especially the littler ones, you know, you were shopping with them. It's a challenge. It's a lot. So thank you for having so many people around to help with that.
Yes, thank you, all of our volunteers. Do any of our members on the call have any questions for the group? Anything, any new business? Okay, well, I appreciate everyone's time this evening. If you think of something post-meeting, feel free to email us. This meeting was being recorded, so I will download it, get it up on our YouTube channel, and make sure that it goes out in an email later this week. So all of our members who maybe weren't able to attend have the opportunity to see what we talked about at the meeting. And our next meeting is Tuesday, February 15th. I have on here that, you know, it could be in the community room, it could be on Zoom. Again, I appreciate everybody's flexibility with transitioning to Zoom last minute, but we're just going to take it to see everyone's comfort level, where things are in the community. Heck, we could even have a snowstorm that day that would just force us to jump onto Zoom. So I'm so happy we have this option. And thank you so much. And we'll see you guys. Yeah, since we have no events this month, other than Emily's stuff starting early February, I don't think I'll see many of your faces till after Valentine's Day. So thank you so much and have a nice night.